Hey guys, HTV here and welcome to a brand new video. Today we've got some pretty interesting things to go over. A new Pokemon Legends EA trailer rumor has dropped. We have some new Nintendo Switch 2 updates to go over and a few other Pokemon events that have also been announced. A lot of things to break down today though, so if you're excited for the video, make sure to drop a like down below, leave a comment, subscribe if you're brand new, and let's get into the video. So, starting things off, let's go over some new Pokemon events that have been announced. The new Pokemon TCG Pocket Set was revealed yesterday. It is all about Eevee and the evolutions. We have Cerebi here tweeting out saying, Cerebi update, the next Pokemon TCG Pocket Set has been officially revealed. It is called Eevee Grove and it is available from June the 26th. So that is next, I want to say next Thursday. It is next Thursday, yeah, a week today. So yeah, this is a pretty cool set. To be fair, it just kind of features all the evolutions and stuff like that. So obviously I'm very much happy about that. And of course, if you want to check out more Pokemon Pocket content, we do have a channel in the description down below, HD Pocket, all that jazz. But anyway, that's the new Pokemon event update. Moving on, we have a new Nintendo Switch 2 update to go over. It dropped this morning. We have Nintendo Everything here tweeting out saying Nintendo Switch 2 and Nintendo Switch Update 20.1.5 out now. Here are the patch notes. So this is, as I say, posted on Nintendo Everything. This went live this morning or wherever, depending on your time zone. Obviously, everywhere is different. But it says Nintendo is back with another firmware update for the Nintendo Switch 2 and the Nintendo Switch. And users can now access version 20.1.5. Note, this is now live for both consoles. They do obviously use the same firmware, so when one gets an update, it's very likely the other one's going to get an update as well. Anyway, after some more interesting firmware upgrades as of late, we're returning to stability improvements. We've often seen these types of updates before, and now that's what we're getting again. There's nothing else as far as features are concerned. So the official rundown is as follows. So Nintendo Switch 2 / Nintendo Switch Update version 20.1.5 patch notes says general system stability improvements to enhance the user's experience, as this is the 5th system upgrade for Nintendo Switch since the end of April. The first one implemented various features like Nintendo Switch 2 transfers. The second one addressed one specific bug. With the third one, there was a couple of UI updates plus the regular stability. Then at the start of June, there was another bug fix. But as well as that, Oatmeal Dome has actually found some more information out about this latest Nintendo Switch firmware update. So we've got Oatmeal Dome here tweeting out, who is of course one of the data miners kind of in the Nintendo community, saying, I'm currently seeing reports that 20.1.5 fixes some Nintendo Switch 1 games that previously didn't work on the Nintendo Switch 2. So if you have any problematic games, try them after updating. The compatibility list on Nintendo's website was not updated. I only have access to one game with issues, being Portal 2, and unfortunately it still crashes after the update. From what I heard though, I think that Portal 2 will be updated to fix the problem. So apparently some Nintendo Switch 1 games that do not work or that struggle to work on the Nintendo Switch 2 have kind of been patched with this latest update. It does just say general stability kind of fixes and stuff, so that could be one of those things. You'd think they'd go into a bit more detail about what those stability issues are, because if you have a game that you really want to play on the Nintendo Switch 2, but it keeps like crashing or whatever, you'd like to know if they've kind of fixed that. But either way, that's kind of a bit more information about this Nintendo Switch 2 update. Moving on, we have some pretty bad news to go over about Pokemon and the Nintendo Switch 2. We've got Nintendo Soup here tweeting out saying Pokemon Scarlet and Violet players report losing save data during the Nintendo Switch 2 system transfer. Now, if you have the Nintendo Switch 2, you probably have done this system transfer. I don't know why you wouldn't. And it probably went swimmingly. But for a few people, they've actually lost all of their Pokemon Scarlet and Violet data, which is obviously very, very bad. It says, following the launch of the Nintendo Switch 2, Pokemon Scarlet and Pokemon Violet has been experiencing a bit of a resurgence in popularity, with many praising how much better it looks and runs on the new console. Unfortunately, not every player is having a good time. In a post on Reddit, one player reported that they had lost their Pokemon Scarlet save file while transferring when transferring their data to the Nintendo Switch 2. This save had over 1,000 hours of gameplay and housed Pokemon collected from over 20 years of playing the games. Responses to the thread include many who reported the same issue, with one response saying they lost save data for every single one of their games, including Pokemon. So this was the Reddit post saying, I just got a Nintendo Switch 2, did the startup and initial data transfer with no issues. My Scarlet save file is gone. It loads straight into the language selection and creates a character screens. No data on my OLED, just all gone. There was no error in data transfer at all. It went fine. All my other Pokemon data is still there, but not Scarlet. So like Sword and Shield, Legends Arceus, Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee, all of that transferred swimmingly, absolutely fine, but Scarlet had an issue. I had Pokemon from my original Game Boy Advance up to current on there, literally 20 years worth of data. There's nothing I can do. I don't even know if I want to play anymore. The same exact thing happened to me when I was transferring from my original Switch to the OLED. Tears were shed, and then the same thing happened to me, but literally all my save data isn't there anymore. Like Breath of the Wild, Tears of the Kingdom, Mario Kart 8, Pokemon Sword and Shield, Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, and so on. I literally have to play everything from the start, which is obviously terrible. I mean, dude, imagine 20 years worth of Pokemon that you've collected all just gone because of a system transfer, and you haven't done anything wrong either. You followed the instructions, you've done it just like everyone else. You've just been really, really unlucky that obviously this has happened. And then given that Pokemon games are among the few titles that do not support the cloud save feature, losing save data to a system transfer is particularly devastating, as it could be next to impossible to recover the save. Many players in the thread recommended storing important Pokemon in the Pokemon Home storage app prior to doing any system transfers, which would allow them to preserve their precious collection in the event that something goes wrong. I'm afraid of this happening to me, so everything I have is going into Pokemon Home before I do the switch. If I get the Nintendo Switch 2 in the future, I will first transfer all my Pokemon to Home before data transferring. I can't imagine how I would be if that happened to me. And then, not gonna lie, the fact that you didn't transfer all your important Pokemon to Home first is on you. We've known that this is the only way to preserve your Pokemon for sure in this kind of circumstance, or if your old Nintendo Switch broke. Otherwise, they'd be gone forever. I'd have done it just to be safe, if nothing else, just so it's obvious and easy to transfer them back if something was to go wrong. I don't really agree with this last comment. Like, you shouldn't be really ridiculed for this happening. Like, it's not your fault. It's barely happened to anyone. To get, like, I don't know, like, attacked saying it's your fault. Like, fair play, obviously putting it onto Pokemon Home is the safest option because it's very simple to do and everything like that. But at the end of the day, you shouldn't have to worry about potentially everything getting deleted when you do a system transfer. So yeah, I don't agree with this last comment, but all I'm going to say is if you haven't got your Nintendo Switch 2 yet, and you are transferring a lot of really, really good Pokemon from Pokemon Scarlet and Violet on the Switch 1 to the Switch 2, it might be worth just putting it onto Pokemon Home first. It doesn't take that long. Just put them all in the boxes, and then you can literally just move the box at a time. And it's going to take an extra, like, few minutes, but you'd rather that than safely on Pokemon Home than potentially losing everything. So just wanted to quickly go over that because, like I say, it's not happened to many people, but it is happening to people. So that's why I wanted to make you guys abundantly clear that you should probably transfer them to Home first if you haven't got your Nintendo Switch 2 yet. Finishing things off with today's video, we have a new trailer rumor for Pokemon Legends ZA. It's just titled New Stuff. And it has an image of Emma, I believe that is, from the anime. Again, this was posted on 4chan. Take it with a big old grain of salt, as always. It's probably false. The next trailer is very likely to be on the 22nd of July now. We were thinking that potentially we get one in June, but with the DK Bonanza Direct that we got this week, that would have been one of the kind of big things that would have showed off in a June Nintendo Direct. So it just looks like for the first time in 8 years, I think, we're not going to get a Nintendo Direct in June, which, I mean, that's just because of the promotional stuff. Like, it's just how it's going with the Nintendo Switch 2 coming out, especially with, like, Pokemon as well. Like, the Pokemon Presents has gone from August to July. We didn't get an August Presents last year. We're probably not going to get an August Presents this year because we're getting it in July. So a lot of promotional stuff is just changing this year, and that's because of the Nintendo Switch 2. But yeah, very unlikely we're going to get a June Direct. So the next trailer for Legends EA probably going to be in July. But anyway, seeing the new trailer, again, take it with a grain of salt. They say they start off with quick shots of different returning Pokemon, a bunch of Kalos Pokemon, and I also saw Caterpie and Weedle. So it'd be one of those, like, panning shots where it just kind of goes over a different area and it has, like, a couple of Pokemon there just kind of chilling and stuff like that. And then it says, then has the title in the sky. So obviously, I assume it'd show the different screenshots of the Pokemon or the different video clips, and then it'd go into the sky, and then it will say Pokemon Legends EA, which you usually see at the end of the trailer. But I guess sometimes they do it at the start as well. I think they're just going, like, word for word what they actually saw in the trailer, which we don't really see, but I don't know. Let's keep reading on, seeing what we're apparently going to see in the next trailer. It then reveals Emma, who is talking to the player, has different shots of her in her office. She has a couple of Pokemon chilled out there. So, yeah, I mean, Emma being in the kind of box art without getting a full reveal about her is a little bit weird, but it is very likely she is going to be in the next trailer. And yeah, it's just one of those shots where we're just talking to her and she's just going through a little bit of dialogue, and then she has a couple of Pokemon in the background. We believe she has a Lucario because obviously it was shown on the box art, but yeah, don't know if like Esper is still there and all that jazz. But anyway, so yeah, we have the Emma bit. It then transitions into a battle with her. She uses weak Pokemon, so it's probably the first battle with her. I can't remember if the leak said we were going to battle her a couple of times. Not in like an aggressive way, not in a like you're out there to just try and like destroy her or anything like that. I think it's more of a sort of like testing your strength kind of situation. But yeah, apparently we battle her. I don't know if that's in the office or just outside the office or whatever, because I mean, we do have battles inside. We did see that in a previous trailer, but either way. Then goes on to say, then shows the character running around at night, shows off more of the Z Royale and trainers walking around with their Pokemon, and also shows off some more rank battles. So yeah, we've only seen, I think we've seen Z and Y at the moment, but I guess that obviously there's going to be a few more that we get to see. We don't know really if there's going to be like main sort of characters as part of the ZA Battle Royale, or it's just going to be like loads of random people. But yeah, apparently we're going to see a couple more of those characters. And then it says, one of the trainers sends out a Mega Horlucha, and then it showed 4 to 5 different shots of it in battle. It was attacking the player's Bayleaf. That's quite interesting because they don't usually show the middle stage starters. Well, I say this early, but the game is actually coming out in a few months. So yeah, this might be the time where they actually start showing the middle stage starters. This would also confirm that the middle stages are not getting forms if this was true. But yeah, 4 to 5 shots of Mega Horlucha. I mean, we pretty much have to get a Mega Evolution shown in the next trailer. Like, we're in June now. We've got July, August, September, October. If we don't get news in July of Mega Evolutions, then we'll be 3 months away from the release of the game with 0 new Mega Evolutions revealed. So, very, very likely to get some there. Very likely to get some at Worlds. But yeah, Mega Horlucha apparently going to be in this battle, battling the player's Bayleaf. And then it goes on to say... it then skips to the daytime, and it shows the character catching a Pyroar in the wild and using it to battle different Pokemon. So I assume that would be quite far into the game then if you're just seeing wild Pyroars, not wild Litleos. I'm sure we get wild Litleos, but if we're catching a random Pyroar, then yeah, you're going to be quite far into the game. So yeah, we're using it in battle, in different Pokemon, yada yada yada. It then skips to the player Mega Evolving it, and then it shows it off in battle even more. So it'd be one of those things where you got Pyroar battling, and then it shows us like Mega Evolving it, and then it's like battling in its Mega Evolution state. And then it goes on to say, then fades to black, and then shows Lysander with 10% Zygarde standing next to him. This is a lot of stuff that kind of has already been, I guess, leaked, quote unquote. Like, we knew about Mega Pyro, we knew about Mega Horlucha, we knew about Emma, we know about Lysander, and how he's kind of like chummy with Zygarde. But yeah, the 10% Zygarde standing next to him, different camera angles of him talking to the character about how he used to be evil, but now wants to help stop the trouble going on in the city. You then battle him to prove your worth to help. So yeah, I mean, he does seem like more of a good guy in this game. Unless all the leaks are wrong and he's just not even in the game. We won't know until we get confirmation. But yeah, we battle him. We again, it's already been leaked that we do battle him as well, if it's all correct. But it's not in a sense of like defeating the evil guy this time. It is, I think, just literally to prove our worth. So yeah, that happens. Again, I don't know what stage of the game that happens in. I don't know if that'd be after we... Like, if that happens whilst we're catching Pyroars and stuff, then it's going to be quite late into the game. But I assume we would have to get quite far into this Battle Royale for things like this to happen, maybe, who knows. And then it goes on to say, after this, it shows more panned shots of the scenery and more returning Pokemon, as it shows the title again in the sky, but this time the background is black and there's faint purple streaks. I mean, purple and green are kind of colors used very much in the promotional cycle for this game. We're expecting this purple sort of energy to be what Quasartico is using or whatever. We just don't know the extent of it, but it's clearly very, very important. And then obviously the green is for Zygarde. And then he goes on to say, the early purchase bonus is a shiny Riolu, which wouldn't be a terrible early purchase bonus. I mean, we already have a shiny Lucario from the mystery gift we got recently for Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. But obviously with Riolu, I think Emma has a Lucario. Obviously, what's-his-face has one in the anime. Roy has a shiny Lucario. So Lucario is getting a lot of game time. Obviously, Ash had one in the last series as well. So Lucario is getting a lot of the spotlight. So if we get an early purchase Riolu, I mean, Lucario was the first Mega Evolution we get in Generation 6 as well. So maybe it's just kind of like a throwback to that. But yeah, I mean, all in all, the trailer doesn't sound bad. It's kind of got everything that I want in it. It's got the early purchase bonus, it's got some new Mega Evolutions, it's got new character reveals, and then it's got like returning Pokemon as well. And it shows more aspects of the game. I think this would be a perfect trailer, really. I don't think people would really be that disappointed with a trailer like this. Maybe the Mega Evolutions could be a little bit different. Holucha and Pyro are a little bit on the less exciting side, but I don't know, I'm a big Holucha fan, so I really hope that it is true. Let me know your thoughts on it though. Do you think it is true or not in the comment section down below? But that is going to be everything for today's video. If you enjoyed, drop a like. Let's try and hit 500. Really, really does help at the channel. All that good stuff. Like I say, leave a comment on anything we covered, on the rumor for Pokemon Legends ZA's next trailer, and then also the Scarlet and Violet save stuff and the Nintendo Switch 2 updates. But thank you for watching. Have a fantastic rest of your day. Subscribe if you're brand new. Ring the notification bell. And until next time, peace.